And we're in game number 1. Everyone, welcome once again. Valas versus running. We're gonna have Tatars versus Mongols. This is the matchup that you were hoping to see, guys. We have it over here. And that means that for Valas, starting down the south, the green player is going to get free Tamring. He's going to get free parting tactics. In addition to that, he gets 50% extra food from herdables and 2 additional sheep underneath each new ability see started in the Castle Age. Besides that, they have 25% higher attack against enemy units when fighting from a higher elevation, and for the team bonus, Tatars finally have also 2 extra line of sight on cavalry archer type units. Meanwhile, for running, playing with the Mongols, he's gonna get 40% faster working hunters. He's gonna get 30% extra HP on like cavalry hussar and step lancer line units, in addition to 25% faster attacking cavalry archer type units. And for the team bonus, 2 extra line of sight and scouts, and this is actually really nice to have in Ghost Lake, as he's already going forward and he's taking some of the sheep away from running. Take a look up in the north, and he has not found his own resources yet, but he's limited. He's taking a boar, my lord. Hey Dico, hi, how's it going? Stop everything, this is an important match. I wasn't asking, you will play it. There is a pretty big chance that I will play Red Dead Redemption at some point in time. So maybe you're right, maybe I will play it. I don't know exactly when, maybe when, I don't know, I take a full year off just to play video games. I have so many on Steam. And even, you know, in the Epic Store, and they're just collecting dust. I probably have over 200 games, and I just basically play Age of Empires, Deep Rock, and Rocket League. And Deep Rock and Rocket League, like, once a week with friends. And Age of Empires, of course, much more so. Nice to be tuning into the stream tonight. Nice! Welcome back. Nico. Although I was referring to Red Dead Redemption 2. Alright. Lost the board for a moment over there, but he's taking it back. Now, this is probably worth not scouting for the sheep in the end. He ended up getting 2 over here, the 2 that he stole from Valas. With this being the 3rd board that he's gonna get access to as well, he gets 370 extra food, and he removes 370 food available for Valas. However, with all the time that he spent just taking the board back home, he gave Valas plenty of time to go and find extra sheep. So if we take a look at this, we have 7 sheep over here. So of course, right now, Valas is collecting the boar. And we take a look at the sheep. We have 7 extra sheep for Valas after the boar runs out. Meanwhile, Rannin's going to have 2 boars after he runs out at the first one. And then he's got 2 sheep, right? But because we get 50% extra food from herdables for the Tatars, I actually think Valas is going to be fine. Of course, food income is not going to be quite as fast compared to the Mongols when collecting from sheep, compared to the Mongols collecting from hunting over here. It's not going to be anywhere near as fast. But in the end, he's going to end up collecting about the same amount of food by the time he eventually runs out of sheep. So it's not too bad, and running certainly, yeah, there we go. Needs to go and try to find the sheep that he has not found up until this point. So he's going to find this one. Yeah, and that mitigates what I was talking about for the Tatars quite a lot, and it's going to make running it's going to put running in a much better position in any case. Some militias are coming in from Valas. Before we get the militias going forward, or hitting the economy from running, let's take a look at the map generation really quickly. So Valas does have the main gold forward, as is often the case over here. We're going to have the main stone on the right hand side far away. And then we have the secondary stone on the back, a secondary goal on the back, so on the left hand side we have the other secondary goal, which is fantastic. And stone, where's the secondary stone actually? I cannot really see it right now. I'm actually not really sure there is any. Yeah. It's gonna start going for the walls already, the green player that is. This way. He secures the wood line. Oh, there we go. Here's the stone. Yes. He secures the gold, he secures the wood line, secures the berries, and it's overall very nice. On the right-hand side, though, here come the militias from Valas, straight into the wood line, and Run is not reacting on time. With the scout body blocking the villager from running, Valas should be able to get the first villager pick over here. He's struggling, though, and he's getting too close to the sun. The TC will protect the villager, and in the end, Running does not lose a single villager, although Valas has not lost any HP on these units, so he could very well end up finding 1 or 2 villagers if he is cautious about this, if he plays his cards right. And you are correct. The secondary stone was part of the walls for Valas, so he's not going to be able to secure that one, especially not against ranged units, right? But he does secure at the very least the gold and the wood line, which is also quite something. Runnin's got his counter drush coming up, and Valas is completely safe. The walls that he's gotten up until now will go towards the TC, which prevents the militias from coming in. However, he will close the walls off in front of the TC. Up in the north, Valas militias are going to hit the second wood line. Are they? He doesn't know about it. Oh, he's just going after a house. Okay, well, if this is going to be the end of the push from Valas, then we can take a look at the map generation for Running really quickly. So the purple player, he's got... Okay, never mind. Here come the militias. And there's a villager over here once again. He can try and body block, but it's not fast enough. Still a bunch of villagers left over here. And can he get any damage? He's got the hill, and he should try and take advantage of it, but at the same time, that's a crap ton of villagers, and the militias are not particularly strong units on their own. So one militia goes down as it gets surrounded, but we do have a very low HP. Well, maybe not very low HP, but we have a weakling here. He could try to go out there, and he's going to, and he might actually end up getting a village down. That's 2 more hits that he needs, and he's going to go for it! And he gets the villager! He got it! In the end, the drush from Valas gets him significantly higher value compared to the drush from Running, which he needed to pull back in order to defend against the remaining units from Valas. And it's not just a drush. Valas went up on 27 workers, so he's gonna fast castle now. Running on the other hand is going up on 32 population, 28 workers, gonna try to fast castle himself as well, and we can finally take a look at the map generation for the purple player. Well, probably won't really make too much of a difference at this point anyway, but he does have the main gold down the south. It's kind of exposed as it's part of the walls he's going for. And then we have the secondary goal up in the north. The other secondary goal for him is gonna be very, very far away towards the left-hand side. As a matter of fact, it might very well be a neutral one, given how far it is. And one key difference between purple and green spaces is that purple does not have a safe woodline. I mean, there is a little bit of a woodline over here close to the corner. It could potentially be secured by the walls like this, but I'm not really sure if he actually has vision of that. Yeah, he doesn't know about it. So he does have the main goal kind of exposed. Secondary goal is going to be super safe though. Once MBL said that spamming move command on a unit makes it less likely to be blocked by enemy units. Is that so? Actually had no idea. Remember when houses could attack? And it was not just houses, right? I think it was any building or a building type. Anyway, Castle Age is on the way for Valas. Running should be on his way to the Castle Age as well, and so far it seems like Valas has gotten the better end of the deal. He's got a lot of extra gather economy time compared to Running. You know, for as much popularity as House's attacking had back in the day, I don't think I have ever seen it actually in action, especially in a competitive game. What was the circumstance under which a house could effectively attack? Was it only in a very specific situation, like using a scenario editor or something like that, or did you see players actually use that to take units down in a competitive game? Any building that could produce or ungarrison units, but they couldn't do it at the moment. Markets in the Dark Age could. and non-camera houses. Right. Interesting. I can just imagine the source code of Age of Empires 2 being such a spaghetti. Such a ball of spaghetti code over there, with everything connected to everything else, and everything being so freaking unpredictable. Remember when DE came out, and they actually started working on the source code once again, and started breaking everything. The game was so bugged for like a full year. Sure, not all those were game-breaking bugs, but some of them were, like units going straight through the walls, or units teleporting, that kind of stuff. Or remember when, was it a game bug that the Malay actually had to research the next stage for significantly longer, or was it just a visualization thing on Capture Age? Because I remember it was a bug on Capture Age, but I didn't remember if it actually happened in game. Or was it the Portuguese that took longer to research stuff because of the bonus? Well, I'm not really sure, but good thing that now the is as robust as he is, for the most part, as it is compared to before. I once read an explanation about gather points being sort of an attack. So when you couldn't set it, but the building could technically have one, it was changed by a 0 attack with no range. Right. Interesting. Lay H up. There we go. Here come the cavalry archers. And that's some good damage down. Already one village goes down. The second villager crumbles. And he should be able to get more than 3. He's going for the 4th, and he's got him 4. Tried to get greedy over there and go for the 5th one. Oh, I could not get it, but he did get another one in the end. 6 villages have gone down so far from running. Valas units, and Valas is going to keep on going for more. Now, remember the Tatters. Whoa! Running calls a GG right here, right now, as he cannot make the Step Lancers work against the Cavalry Archers. I was just about to say, remember the Tatters. They get higher attack when fighting from a higher elevation, higher compared to what the usual game multiplier is, but he was fighting from a flat ground over here and still was able to get such a good trade. With Balkan Arrow and good unit control, he was able to take the Step Lancers down, and Ryan does not want to keep on going anymore. Despite the fact that he was not straight out dead yet. He was going to die very soon, of course. That DC was not coming up with the Cavalry Archers cleaning up the Step Lancers. So well done. And Valas finds himself up 1-0. Running. It's going to struggle significantly more so compared to the Finnish players. So let's take a look at the achievements really quickly. We'll see for military, a better KV for Valas by a lot. Better than 9-5, as a matter of fact. For economy, a stronger economy for Valas reveals about 800 extra resources collected actually for the green player. And for society, we have a villager max count that is significantly higher for Valas, given the villager count total for both these players. 3 extra villages is actually quite significant over here, of course. And it was going to keep on going much higher than this, as Valas was about to clean out the Step Lancers. It was probably going to end up taking all of the villagers trying to get the second building, the second TC up from running, right? Well done. Let's cross the civilizations. And game number 3 is here. Valas with the Poles, running with the Bengalis, down the south and up the north, respectively. We'll take a look at Valas' civilization. He's playing with the Poles, and running is playing with Bengalis. I thought it was going to be Turks for running, but he's going to go for Bengalis in the end. Well, that makes Turks kind of useless for game number 3, right? That one's going to take place in Arabia, so we're probably going to get maybe the Franks, perhaps, one of the other civilizations instead. And Valas, well, Valas with Poles is going to have a very strong civilization for Arena, and he still has Chinese and Mayans for Arabia, right? So it's looking very, very good for Valas. Overall, it seems like his draft, as Cookie Cutter, as it seemed, significantly better suited to the series compared to runnings. For the civilizations, Valas with Poles is going to get 5, 10, 15, 20 HP regeneration on villagers per minute. In the Dark Field Castle and Imperial Ages, we see for the Poles also access to Folwark. They're going to have, in addition to all of that, 0.33 units of gold that they mine per each unit of stone that they collect. The team bonus is going to make the poles also get 1 bonus damage from skeleton units against archer type units. And moving up the north end and taking a look at Ranning's civilization on the other hand, we'll see that the purple player will get 2 additional villagers spawning from HTC after getting to the next stage. In addition to that, he's gonna get +3/+3 armor on monk units, so going for the relics can be really good for the Bengalis. It should not be anywhere near as hard as it's with some of the other civilizations. And then besides that, we also see for Bengalis elephants that take 25% less bonus damage. They have some conversion resistance. And finally for the team bonus, it's going to be actually a bonus for actual team gains for the Bengalis, so it's not relevant over here. Taking a look at the map generation and starting with Valas. We'll see for the green player that he's got the main gold on the back, which is fantastic. The secondary goal, mind you, both secondary goals are actually very close on the right hand side. One's going to be inside the walls, the other one's going to be outside the walls. The main stone is on the back, the secondary stone is forward outside the walls as well, but as we always mention on Arena, the way that the map generation has worked over here in this game for Valas means that if Running were to come over and get some scouting information alongside the walls like this, then he should get vision of this secondary gold over here, which is to say, if Running were to be the one to go for a forward castle at some point in time, he could very well, by getting vision of this secondary gold over there, decide to go for a castle in a location that's going to prevent the green player from accessing either of these resources. Interestingly enough, because of the way that the map has generated here, even if Running did not get vision of the secondary gold over here, a castle around this location would still be very good because it would still deny the stone and the gold, and just by chance he could find himself in a position where he goes for a castle without vision of this gold and still ends up denying all 3 resources. Taking a look up in the north, Running's map generation on the other hand, we'll see that the purple player, he's got the main goal on the back, so very similar compared to the green player, which is fantastic. And the secondary goal is also for, what is this map generation? You know what? Hold on, let me go down further south a little bit. So yeah, he's got the main goal on the back, it's fantastic. We have the secondary goals forward, and there we go. He's got both these secondary goals very, very close together. The main stone is on the left-hand side, although it's too far away from the walls to get scouted, and the secondary stone is going to be in front of the walls. So, pretty similar to what we were talking about on the other side of the map, if we were to see the green player come over and get some scouting information by scouting alongside the walls like this, if he got vision of this gold, he could very well as well, if he were the one to go for a castle drop, and with poles, you're probably expecting a castle drop at some point, then getting vision of this gold over there behind the walls could be enough for him to decide on dropping a castle somewhere around here, which would deny both these resources. And I guess also the neutral stone, right? Although this is not quite as relevant, it's not going to be quite as impactful. And certainly, Valas still has the shortest stick over here in terms of map generation. If we saw a castle come out from Running, he would end up denying 3 resources as opposed to only 2 from Valas. I love the drawing. Nice. Thank you. It's appreciated. The final thing to take a look at over here as the players gear up to go up to the PLH is the relic distribution. And this one is going to be actually pretty straightforward and very fair and very well balanced, I would say. And it's been the case like this for the majority of TTL. We have both these relics closer to the green player, although this one is... Maybe this one is going to be more like a... It's going to be more like a neutral one, right? This one is definitely closer to the TL player, to the purple player, sorry. This one is so as well. And then this one is going to be contested as well. So there are 2 relics favoring purple. There is 1 relic favoring green. 2 relics over here that are going to be somewhat neutral. But of course, it's all going to be about how the players try to go after the relics. The Bengalis with +3/+3. My prioritize just going for monks, just going for a straight fast castle into monks. Although as I say that, I see the barracks coming out for Running, so it seems like we're going to see a stable coming out for the purple player. Valas On the other hand, well, he's got the barracks up, right? So it seems like both these players will start going for scouts. It's not bad. Bengalis do not really care about the enemy scouts too much. Going for his scouts will give him the tools he needs, the pieces of the puzzle that he needs to put together a counter against Valas' own monks. So whatever damage run is going to be able to do with his own stable is going to be so much higher compared to any damage that Valas is going to be able to do with his own stables, of course. Or at the very least on paper, that should be the case. Here we go. Okay, so I just send the way for both these players at the exact same time. We have 0 seconds of idle TC time for either player. Remarkable. And interesting to see, in the end, he went for the market as opposed to the blacksmith. Valas ended up selling resources in order to go up. But he's the pulse, so every unit of stone that he mines over here is going to give him some additional gold as well. What two civilizations would have the most epic monk battle on Arena? The most epic monk battle on Arena. So Aztecs gotta be one of those. I'm going to go for Aztecs, yes. Bohemians? Well, I imagine you're probably thinking about the Hussite Reforms upgrade, right? Which makes the monks not cost any gold. Monks and monastery upgrades. Maybe, I'm actually not really sure. I think I'm liking the Bengalis probably a little bit better. Like the HP for the Aztecs, for instance, doesn't really do anything in a monk against monk battle, right? And the extra armor for the Bengalis doesn't really do anything. If you're just talking purely about monks versus monks, well, Teutons are going to be in a very good position to engage in a battle like that because of the conversion resistance they get for the team bonus, in any case. That would make their monks significantly harder to convert. Besides that, maybe the Burmese could be good. You know, with a 50% monastery discount could be nice. Unfortunately, for as good as that bonus is, the Burmese do not get access to heresy, so they wouldn't be able to research that and prevent conversions. So I'm not really sure. I think the civilizations are probably not quite as impactful in that regard. So long as you have access to atonement, you're still gonna have to pay for the monks, right? I guess maybe Bohemians would be the better one if you research Hussite Reform. That way you don't have to pay gold for the monks and you can just go for them forever. But yeah, any of the other bonuses is kind of irrelevant. So I would say probably Bohemians versus Teutons. Because the Teutons, it would take longer for the conversions to come out. But then again though, you might not care about conversion resistance if you do have a civilization that can research heresy. Well, the Teutons get both, in any case. So I guess I would stick to that. Yeah, I would say Bohemians and Teutons. While we wait for anything to happen in this game. Let's just speculate about hypothetical civ matchups. Sure. Teutons. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Bohemians and Teutons. Teutons, they are harder to convert by default, and they also get access to heresy. And the Bohemians, they get the free monks, they also get access to all the monk upgrades. Not Aztecs. I would say no to the Aztecs, yeah, because they get extra HP, but the extra HP on a monk versus monk battle doesn't matter. It's only if you already start including like cavalry into the mix. Then yeah, the Aztecs can be good. If you're also adding units in addition to monks, I would say Bengalis and Aztecs probably because of the extra armor and extra HP. Light cavalry is already here. For the purple player, we have light cavalry. For green as well. Very comparable military count, and so far we have seen the players go for the low-hanging fruits, so to say, with one relic coming in from Valas, the one that was nearby his walls. And Running has gone for one relic as well, and now the rest are up for grabs, and we see now Running go for the third relic. second for himself, third that we see the players go for so far this game. And there we are, the conversions are coming in, but it's not going to be enough, and the Monk gets completely annihilated from running. And the extra armor did squat for his units. The Monk went down right away. I don't think he's got Sanctity, does he? He doesn't have Sanctity. That's the reason the Monk got just completely deleted over there otherwise. Probably would have been able to hold on against the light cavalry over there. Maybe long enough to get a conversion. But anyway, we have one Monk left over there for running. He did manage to collect the relic on the right-hand side, though. So there are 2 relics up for grabs over here. So far, running's up 2-1. And it seems to me like running should be the one collecting this one as well. So that's going to put him on a 3-1 relic count. A relic distribution between both these players. The purple player took a little bit longer to get the 30 C up. However, he does have extra villagers right now compared to Valas anyway. And this is by virtue of the extra villagers coming out of the TC each time that he goes up 1 age. And Valas still needs to catch up a lot. Hey, Proud Noble. Hi, hi. There we are. We see another Monk going down. Yes, sir. Still no Sanctity for running. He doesn't need it though, to be fair. He will end up securing all the relics he's got. Well, the 4 relics he was able to get, right? So he's got 2 right now. He's going for this one. And yeah, he's got the Monk on the right-hand side. He needs to try and bring the relic close to his gate. So he doesn't have to travel quite as far with the Monk to go and try and collect it. Oh, nice conversion from Valas. The same amount of light coverage still. HP pool significantly higher though for Valas. TC on the way now for running as well, so he's gonna try and bail upon his villager lead, his existing villager lead. Where is the Monk? We have one over here. We have 2 monks actually from running. He should be able to go and collect the relic. Meanwhile, Valas got the 1 monk. He's waiting for the 2nd monk before coming out after the final relic. But it seems to me like running is going to be the one to take it. Let's take a look. The engagement is not good for Valas. The HP pool is so much higher for running, and that was an awful, awful engagement for Valas. However, he does manage to spin off 2 units, spin out of the army 2 units and get the monks down. So now Ryan needs to keep on going for more and more monks. So you might be wondering, how is it possible that the players spend this many resources into the relics? How is that worth it? Well, it is worth it because the relic is going to produce gold almost as if it were a villager, a fully upgraded gold miner. So it's actually a little bit better than that. And collecting 1 relic, even if you end up losing, let's say, 3 monks to collect that 1 relic, is going to pay off in just a matter of minutes. And then, of course, the longer the game goes, the more relics you have, the better you're going to be off. And Running's still gonna try to go after the relic. Valas, instead, he's got a light cavalry. Not quite enough numbers, though. So he bails. And instead, Valas is gonna be the first player to scrap enough resources to go out to the Imperial Age. Running, instead, is going for Handka right now. It doesn't have enough resources to go out to the Imperial Age, but it is definitely in the picture for running. It is not too far out. You should be able to click out very soon. What will Valas do though? What is he going to get done with the Imperial Age? Well, he's been collecting stone quite heavily, so he's sending villagers forward. I don't think he's got enough light cavalry over here to guarantee the castle coming out, so he's got to be careful. But if we take a look at Valas's map scouting, he doesn't know about the inside gold from running. Otherwise, this castle would have been significantly more aggressive. But he's going to try to get this one up. And let's take a look, right? He's going to try and take the engagement. If he comes out on top, he might have still enough light cover to go and deny the castle. However, the walls are coming out from Valas. And he's getting the quick walls up, guaranteeing the castle coming up, and well done. Valas is getting this castle up no matter what. Meanwhile, running has been so many resources trying to go after the relics, and he seems like he's gonna be getting it though. The final relic is coming in from running finally, as Valas does not spot the monk. Bathing was fantastic. The unit control from running over here allows him to take the relic over here, and finds himself up 4-1 relics in this game with Bengalis. That's so good. Now the Imperial Age is here. What do we have? Well, the Imperial Age is gonna be here very soon. Valas has a significant head start to it running. Not so much, although he has been collecting some resources, and he should be able to go for a castle very soon. It does not seem to me like running will actually use the castle to go for any unique units. Probably just going to be for trebuchets. But Valas is getting to the Imperial Age. He's got Schlachter privileges coming up, and he's gonna use the castle for this a stepping stone of sorts. 45 walls coming in, by the way, for running. But yeah, Valas is gonna use this castle as a stepping stone of sorts to go for extra military buildings forward, right? So he's gonna start producing the knights. He's gonna start going for cavalier, I reckon. He needs to pay for the upgrades though. He doesn't really have the resources to go for it yet, but he's saving. Back from my New Year's Eve feast. We'll have our Rex again, whether it matters, just curious. We're on Rex right now. Rex for the 3rd and the 4th series. Wow, this is the 3rd series already. How time flies. A lot of like cavalry still from running. It's gotta bail. The knights are coming out already. But yeah, where are the siege weapons? Valas is gonna start going for bombard cannons. He's got the cavalry upgrade on the way. Meanwhile, running's population is so much stronger. He's got so many extra villagers and so many extra military units. He's gonna start going for elephant archers instead. He's gonna try to mass these up. Notice how he's trying to keep this army stealth under covers. And Valas, if you take a look, he's got no idea what running is actually going for. Now this is really good though. Valas doesn't have taken the monastery down, so running is gonna have to transport the relics over, but he's already been doing it for the most part. There's one relic left. He does have another relic on the way, right? Yes, so he will end up collecting all the relics in the end. It's fine now, Valas. Go down, and here come the cavalier. A lot of village archers coming out. Parthen Ducks is on the way. The light cavalry is going to act as a meat shield. The cavalry archers, actually the elephant archers, are they strong enough though? That is the question. They seem to actually be doing pretty well over here. The cavalier, they're going straight to the back. Run his economies straight into a soft underbelly. However, running should be able to eventually clean these units up, right? He's managed to get some conversions. We have only 3 Cavalier left over there for Valas, but this is not going to be the end of the push. Not even close. Valas is still, or the very least should still be going pretty heavily into Cavalier. And the Elephant Archers, they're actually looking really strong. Take a look at the count for running right now. He's got 27 Elephant Archers. He is going for Skirmishers and Elephant Archers at the same time, so he's already trying to stay a step ahead compared to Valas, so he's gonna have to, you know, react to this at some point. And what is the reaction going to be? 6200 HP? Right. These ones are amazing. This is... The thing about Elephant Archers is this is usually a unit that is extremely hard to mass up, but once you do, it's so much stronger even than Cavalry Archers. Of course they are, right? And you get to the point after going for a certain amount of elephant archers over here that you do not really care about even getting surrounded by units. Like if this was a cavalry archer army, he would be kiting, he would be bailing, he would be trying to maximize the value of his units, but right now he's kind of disregarding the cavalier because of how tanky the elephant archers are now, much to his disgrace. Actually, he does end up losing a lot of units, but in the end, he will be left on a decent amount of elephant archers still to work with. One cat scrambles for Valas, he's got one left running, already has vision of the next castle, so he's gonna try and target it now with the trebuchets once again. Yeah, and here comes running. He does not care about anything. He does not care about the cavalier. He does not care about the castle. He just got an unstoppable wall of meat. Slowly sliding through the map, pushing everything away. And the castle crumbles. A bunch of villagers do go down for running, so he will go down in villager count compared to Valas. He still has significantly more military units, close to 30 elephant archers once again. And these guys are finally upgraded. These are elite elephant archers right now, which are stronger. Ring Archer armor he needs to go for, running that is. Right now for these units, he's got Parthian tactics. He doesn't have thumb ring. That is actually something that I'm not really sure they do have. Do Bengalis have thumb ring? Did he just not go for it yet? Let me check. Bengalis, they do not have thumb ring. They don't. So yeah, these are as fully upgraded as you can get them. Yeah, and once again, the elephant archers, they don't care. They don't care about anything. They're just moving forward, marching straight through. Now Pikes is coming in for running, and this is huge, guys! Pikes gives Rathas and elephant units 20% more attack, so getting the unique upgrade over here. I think it also affects the elephant archers. This is not really a strategy that we have seen being used too much, so I'm not 100% sure that is indeed the case, that the Pikes also affects the elephant archers, but I think it does, right? I think the bonus says 20% higher attack on Rathas and elephant units, so I imagine elephant archer type units are also affected by it. There we are. Yeah, he got the unique technology. He needs to go for Mahayana as well. I don't know if he went for it already. He does not have it. He does not have it. He's in 200 population, and the villagers are taking... Yep. All the space that they need to, so he has not gone for it, but it does not matter, guys. In the end, running with the fantasy plays, ends up taking game number 2 against Valas on Arena Go Figure, a map that Running is very familiar with, a map that he's known to be extremely strong in, despite the fact that he is not an official Clown Legion member, right? Running is going to be certainly a force to be reckoned with around here. So well done. It also affects siege elephants. All right, yeah, okay. So he got it, and well played. What a great game! You don't get to see elephant archers every day, and this was made possible by Running's incredible patience and how he tried to mass the units before unveiling those, before showing those, before going out. He already had a significant amount of units. Better KD for Running. Go figure. With the army he had, he had a better KD, especially how expensive the units were. Stronger economy, collecting about 2,400 extra resources, will give Running what he needed to go for the units he was going for. And then finally, we see the villager max count was very even between both these players. However, there was a difference in villagers lost over here, and in the end, it's actually worse for Bengalis. Yeah, he ends up losing 32 workers compared to 20 from Dallas. Don Bilbo. I love that name, by the way. Thank you so much. It's very much appreciated. Welcome to the club. I see you're coming in with a Prime Gaming sub as well, which I absolutely love. Let's go back and update the drafting information. Oh boy. What is going on? Is it me? Or are we chopping a little bit? Is it choppy? Hold on, let me check what the issue is. GPU probably, right? It's been a while since the last time that I had this issue. GPU just getting overloaded. And now it seems like it corrected already itself, right? Yeah, okay, it's good, it's good. No panicking. It's alright. Franks versus Chinese in Arabia, class matchup. I can understand finally. Franks versus Chinese. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I would personally be favoring the Chinese over here. We'll see what we get, of course. We're gonna begin by introducing the civilizations, starting with the Valas. Playing with the Chinese, green player is gonna have 3 extra villagers upon starting the game at the expense of 200 food, 50 wood. We'll see for the Chinese, the TCs. We'll also have 5 extra line of sight and 5 higher population support compared to other civilizations. And on top of that, he also gets 10, 15, and 20% cheaper upgrades in the feudal, castle, and imperial ages. There's one bonus I never mentioned for the Chinese, and there's a demolition one, but it's not relevant usually. They are never used for water maps, except for compass, perhaps. For the team bonus, finally, the Chinese get 10% additional food on farms. And running scout the Franks, which will get free farm upgrades. So that's gonna be more than 10% additional food, right? He's not gonna have to pay for the farm upgrades. He goes out to the village, he gets Horse Collar instantly. This is something that actually differs between Age of Empires 4 and Age of Empires 2, and I am wondering if any of you would consider something like this in the context of Age of Empires 2 to be a good or bad thing. And that is the fact that right now on Age of Empires 2, for a civilization like the Franks, you get free Horse Collar as soon as you get to the feudal age, even if you did not go for a meal at all. Of course, you're most often than not always going to go for the meal, but let's say a civilization such as Turks, if you do not go for a university, you get chemistry for free anyway, right? And if you don't have an archer range for the Tatars, you also get thumbring anyway and Parthian tactics. See a lane coming in though from running. That's going to be the second one in the series. First one was actually on Ghost Lake, and we know how that game went. We'll see what we get now. Wait, was it Ghost Lake? Yeah, I think it was Ghost Lake, right? Valas is aware of this though. It's gonna try and block the boar. Oh, is it gonna be able to do it? He needs to prevent the scout from running, from staying within the line of sight radius over here from the boar. And notice running's unit control over here is really good, and Valas cannot do anything anymore now. There we are. He's gotten already to the TC, and that's going to be 3 boars total for running, of course. There is a chance that Valas might be able to get 1 boar himself, but he's not sticking around. And as a matter of fact, you know what? I think running already chipped the boars, didn't he? Well, there is a little bit of, what would you call that? Hide? Fur? We see a little bit of the boar over there. Yeah, and he's going right now for the 3rd one, so he will end up collecting all 3. I guess there is not a chance anymore for Valas to try and get a counter lane going, right? It's going to have an awful impact on the Chinese. He's kind of forced right now into pushing deer, and his DC is going, his villagers over here are going idle. And I think that's a very long distance to cover, trying to push deer over here to make up. Yeah, the deer is going down much earlier than Valas would actually be able to push the 2nd deer in. That's very unfortunate. So yeah, what I was saying was, what would you think about the mechanic working the same way that it works for Age of Empires 4 in the context of Age of Empires 2, where, for instance, let's say you have the French in Age of Empires 4, or you have the Chinese. The Chinese in Age of Empires 4, they get free chemistry. The French, they get free melee attack upgrades in Age of Empires 4. But you need to have the building before. It does not get granted automatically, so if you want to get the equivalent of forging, iron casting, and blast furnace, you need to go for a blacksmith first. And if you're playing the Chinese and you want to get your free chemistry, you actually need to go for university. So I'm pretty curious, what do you think about that in the context of Age of Empires 2? Do you think that would be a bad thing? Do you think that would be a good thing? I know that Age of Empires 2 is primarily an entertainment product, not a historically accurate one, but just curious. Regardless, we took a look at the civilizations. Let's take a look at the map generation really quickly before we get too much action. So Valas has already been going for the walls. He's got the mingle on the back, which is beautiful. He's got the stone on the right-hand side, the main stone up in the north as well. Both these will be part of the walls. And then secondary goals will be one on the left-hand side. The other one's going to be up in the north by the wood line. And I guess it's the only one that he really secures, right? And because the way that he's walled this, he won't actually be able to secure this one. It could potentially be denied as well by some range units, towers, or whatnot. Rang, on the other hand, playing with Franks, isn't likely to be going for range units. He's gonna go for the stable instead. And for his map generation, we'll see that he's got the mingle on the back as well. And the map generation seems to be really consistent for TTL. Main stone is up in the north, secondary stone on the right-hand side, and finally the secondary goals, we're gonna see one up in the north, very far away, and one down the south. It's actually underneath the mini-map. You can see it over here. But yeah, anyway, if he goes for some walls, and because of how close he is to the corner of the map, I think something like this should be definitely doable for the purple player. Okay, he's going for this instead. He will still, regardless, end up securing the wood line, the gold, and the stone. I think the only time that it'll come up is with Turks and free chemistry off the top of my head. To benefit from tree, thumb ring, and parting tactics, the Tatars need a range to make cover the archers. Yeah, right, like you're not going to benefit from thumb ring and parting tactics if you don't have an archer range first, right? You need to go for the archers or for the cavalry archers too. But in the context of, let's say, the Magyars getting free attack upgrades, you will need to get the blacksmith up first before you got forging, for instance, or iron casting or blast furnace for that matter. So it'll be different for Turks. It'll be different for Magyars. Magyars probably will be the most impacted by it. But yeah, maybe any new civilizations. Let's say that they release some new African civilizations or whatever, and one of the bonuses for one of those was, I don't know, free. Oh, yeah, I was going to say something stupid. The Burmese, they also get free lumber camp upgrades, but when are you not going for lumber camps? But yeah, if a new civ came out and they got... Oh, I know. The Koreans. There we go. The Koreans are also affected by it, right? They get free farm upgrades. Sorry, free archer upgrades. Archer armor upgrades. And then you would need to have the blacksmith for that. Doesn't seem fit either. Age of Empires 4 has a few good ideas. That's not as impressive. Alright, okay. I was just curious. Let's see if Valas can breach through. The one thing that is very difficult for running by going for the walls the way he's gone for is protecting the walls, right? Because it's a very long one, very hard to protect. And honestly, if Valas had tried to breach through closer to the edge of the map over here, I think he might actually have been able to do it. Scouts coming in from running. Let's play in Franks. We knew he was going to go for scouts. Valas, he's got archers for the most part. And because of the way the running has gone for the walls, he actually does not really secure the wall line over here. So a few archers from Valas could be extremely deadly. He seems to be playing for the Castle H over here instead, though. So well, we do have some archers from Valas. This is not the entirety of his army, and it's getting very close to having enough resources to click out to the Castle H himself. We see a village go down already, though, from running. We might see another one. The archers are going down. He's trying to get one more villager for dear life, but he cannot do it. In the end, it's going to be the single loss here. Villager by the rubble. And running stabilizes over here. The push was not particularly impactful on running's economy. going down in worker efficiency in the last minute from 74 to 70%, and he's going to bounce right back up. Well, Valas, on the other hand, he is getting very close to having enough resources to go up to the castle age, and so is running as well. So both these players are neck and neck. Despite the pressure coming in from Valas, Running's economy is actually a little bit stronger now, and he manages to click out to the castle age a little bit earlier. Valas, he should be on his way to the castle age very soon, but it's great to see the game seems to be, for the most part, really even, really contested. I'm hoping it's going to be a nice, long one, because we are going to find out. In a way, I kind of like the idea of civilizations being able to get free text without the bell in itself. It's kind of the bonus in a way. For example, Turks can fast imp into hand cannons without dropping 200 wood on the university, which makes sense in a way as a gunpowder civilization. Yeah, I hear you, and that seems good to me as well. I did find it awkward with Age of Empires 4 that they needed to go for the buildings, and at the very least, this is the way that I remember it. I might be completely off over here. They either updated the game to change that. I don't know. I haven't seen Age of Empires 4 in over a year, or maybe that was not the case and I just got it wrong. But I think to remember that's the way that it used to work for that game. I found it kind of awkward at first, but that could just be because I'm used to Age of Empires 2, not necessarily because it's bad design, right? Not necessarily. Could very well be bad design as well, but I think it's probably just me not being used to it. Here we go. Nice trade for Valas, cleaning up. Running defenses. Now the purple player is going to start going for knights. He does have a second stable as well. Second TC's on the way. CHONKERS on the way. It seems like Ren's going to try and play defense and offense at the same time. He's going to try and mass a few knights to send forward and get the raids going. And then the defensive CHONKERS is going to allow him to protect himself. That is an interesting approach, and a very pricey one, I must add. Valas, on the other hand, Valas got camels coming up. He's got a good amount of archers already, for which he's getting the crossman and balcony arrow upgrades, as well as bowsaw. And running is not going for bowsaw yet. He does have heavy plow, of course, for free, but Valas is going for it himself as well. It might make sense for the style Age of Empires 4 goes. I know so little about it that I couldn't judge. As far as Age of Empires 2 goes, I don't think it's ever been a balance issue. A few times it came up. Right. Or it comes up. Right. Yeah, I agree with you, Wonderboy. Here we go. The units are coming in. We don't have any mangonels, just scorpions. And Valas is trying to make it work. Can't really get any damage done anymore though. Running defensively. Manages to push Valas' units off, and now there's 30C coming out for Ryan. That is very interesting, and it's actually coming up at about the same time as Valas is going for the 30C. So both these players trying to juggle the resources, going for military and economy at the same time, running in a defensive manner, Valas in a defensive manner. It's in that pushing villages away from the 30C, so if he does manage to get his own TC up, and if he's able to keep running low, or actually away from the TC foundation, he might be able to start pulling a hidden village count. It's sort his house in the situation right now though. There we are. Valas is roaming around. Running will get the TC out finally. However, Valas should be able to start pulling ahead. He's going for wheelbarrow, and he is behind by 2 workers, not too bad. Oh, Oh, the villager goes down at the last second though. And the knights, they are going to stand in front to pay respects, and now they are just going to stampede on top of the the body. But here comes Valas, and this is a big engagement coming up, guys. It's cooking up right now. We have the scorpions over there trying to get defended by the knights, but the knights are going to also face the camels as the crossbows. Are putting some extra pressure from behind as well. The unit control from Valas has not been the best. And he ends up losing the vast majority of the camels over here while getting pushed back. That was really rough. He needed to keep the crossbows outputting damage over there, and in the end, running does end up pushing Valas' units away. That was really, really good for running, yes. Alright, it's gonna start collecting some of the relics. He's already gotten one. The 3 remaining relics will be closer to Valas. Well, this one is kind of out in the open. These 2 will be closer to Valas. But I think Ronnie might actually end up collecting 3. Let's take a look at the scouting information. Oh, he doesn't know about it. Okay. Defensive castle on the way now for Valas running. He's starting to collect some of the stone. He's got 7 stone miners. Not the best position still. Nobody's gonna go out to the Imperial Age anytime soon. Valas' defensive castles simply going to secure some of the extra resources he had exposed otherwise, namely the secondary gold. Although this one is going to remain exposed for the time being. Here comes running. You cannot do anything from this angle, so if running's ever to put any pressure, it's gonna have to try and work from a different side. Interestingly enough, notice running is going for... Okay, now he's trying to prioritize villager production. For a moment over there, he was not utilizing all the TCs, but it seems to me like it was probably just a one-off thing. Imperial is gonna be on the way very soon for Valas, though. Let's take a look at gather economy time. Oh boy, over an hour of extra gather economy time for Valas. This is remarkable, but it's also not what you're expecting to see from the green player when he's managed to get a castle up and he'll be able to go out to the Imperial Age. Like an hour of extra gather economy time should usually represent about 1200 extra resources, right? So if you subtract 650 from the castle over there, that's gonna leave you with 550 extra resources, but still. He does manage to scrap enough resources to go out to the Imperial, which I think that's probably because of the eco upgrades. It was looking better for Valas for a little while, especially when he had wheelbarrow and running didn't, but let's take a look. There's a 4th castle coming up now for running. That's a lot of knights he's got to defend the villages with, so this castle should come up. Yeah, and the camels are... He's not pulling the camels out. Nope, you just take them all. I'll give them to you. That was not good. He's got some crossbows still. This could be good. The crossbows, I think they might actually have enough range to deny this. If he can keep the barracks up and prevent the knights from coming in, you know what? The crossbows might actually be able to deny the castle, but he needs to keep this up. He needs to keep the walls. Oh man, I'm not really sure. I cannot quite tell if the villagers are Within range? They are! They are within range! And the castle is getting denied as doubt remains smiling upon the dead villagers. Valas is able to deny the fort castle, but Ronin's fed up. He's had it with him. Sending knights around. Does not care about the castle. Tries to come in through the north, but the quick walls coming out from Valas are just too good. And Ronin cannot come in with the knights. Cannot take care of these crossbows. And all the villagers do end up going down from Ronin because of it. And this castle gets effectively denied. Plus, Valas is only 5 seconds away from the Imperial Age. As he's got some CHONKERS coming out right now. In addition to the crossbows, we're going to see some trebuchets come in. Is he going to go for trebuchets? He doesn't need to, actually. The castle's not up. No, Ronin's going for another castle back home instead. I don't think he needs that, right? If he just starts going for the upgrades he needs for his actual military, that's probably going to be better use of his resources as opposed to going for siege, given the castle is in foundation state. CHONKERS will be better versus Frank Knights, but maybe too late. We can start going for it now. He's got 2 castles, so his production is double what it was before. He's got the 3rd castle on the way to increase production potential by 50%. And Running's gonna have a single teeny tiny castle up in the north. While the rest is completely exposed, especially this area on the far back of his economy. Right, we had 2 DCs and 65 villagers. Yeah, good luck. And here comes Valas. He's gonna try to be the one to start putting pressure right now. Running on the other hand, he's got still significantly higher army value for his military. But Valas, he's got all the pieces that he needed to put a push together over here. He's got the halberdier to counter the knights. He's got the crossbows, the CHONKERS to take on the monks, and also reinforce the halberdier. Extra villagers coming out from Valas around the left-hand side. Seems to me like he's going to try to go for another castle, probably on top of the hill over here. We'll see, though. The villagers are completely out of position, and they were actually going to the gold down the south. As Running spots the villagers, he will claim these lives. For the most part, Valas loses the villagers, only 3 left alive. But yeah, he will go for the castle regardless, Valas that is. So he was going for the gold and the castle at the same time. And that is a lot of units from Valas to push with. And Running's gonna have to wait. He's going for Cavalier. Running. He's gonna have a lot of extra things to worry about now the trebuchets are deploying from Valas to take the TCs down. And this is huge. Remember, over 60 villagers around this area from Running. Only 2 TCs to garrison those. He can only garrison 30 villagers, right? This is 70 villagers around this area with only 1 TC to garrison. This is looking really, really nice for Valas. But Running got to the Imperial Age and he's got the Cavalier upgrade right now. He is taking 3 losses around the map. He doesn't seem to be quite decided as to what to go for and where to roam around with these units, where to strike with these units. And Valas is going to take advantage of that. He's taking the stables down, he's taking the production buildings down, he's taking the TC down, so we're not going to have any protections anymore for Running's economy. And it seems to me like it's only a matter of time until Valas pushes straight past the defenses from Running and starts collecting the villagers. The juicy bounty we were talking about up until this point. 79 villagers around this area. So here he comes finally with the crossbows. And that is a lot of villagers exposed just in this area. We have 31 villages, only 15 of which will fit inside the DC. And there is nothing to be seen from Running. Where are the Cavalier? They are going against the halberdier, and that is not the engagement you want to take if you're in Running's position. The halberdier will completely, clean you up. So, of course, this goes in favor of Valas, and Running does not want to keep on trying anymore. He's done with this. As he calls a GG, Valas will take the first win of the league. For the Finnish player over here, so far he lost 2 series. Is going to be his first win in Running. Running, unfortunately, I think he's lost 3 series in a row, hasn't he? Let's take a look at the achievements one more time before hopping out and taking a look at the standings. Taking a look at potentially the drafts for the 4th series of the day. But anyway, for military, we have a much better KD for Valas over here, surpassing 4-3 KD ratio. For economy, we have a stronger economy for Valas as well, collecting about 5,000 extra resources, close to it, more like 4,500. For For society, though, Valas was looking much stronger. He lost 9 villagers throughout the game. Actually, he lost, 11 villagers throughout the game. He trained 141. He was left in 130 at the end. Running ended up losing 31 himself. 20 additional villagers compared to Valas. And of course, that does have a huge impact on the economy. And well done. Valas 2, running 1.